Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through and almost effectively doing cash cows for round 1, even though it's round 1, because we do have the round 0, and we can go through about, or I'd say 10 or so rookies that are almost in essence already a cash cow. So yeah, they did score well in round 0, and how they are probably, and then we'll use some metrics to show you how they are still a cash cow, and one that I'm sort of shocked is actually a cash cow, as I should just get some more light on me. There we go, that should be better for the actual video. So how they're going to still be, I think, a cash cow in terms of their break-evens already starting to trend downwards. If I just get it on the break-evens on the website, the break-evens are so dumb on the fantasy website. Like, I have in no way, shape or form belief that Matt Roberts is a negative 71 break-even. I don't see how that can physically be possible when he scored 91, given that he was priced at, I think, about a 26, 25, something like that, or maybe 27. He was priced at 27, made a 91. I see no correlation with there being a negative 71 break even anywhere. So that's why I don't believe that these break evens are right, and I don't see any real correlation with them. Blake Howes made a 73, I think, and now has a minus 58 break even, so I don't get that either. And Seth Campbell is a minus 38 off of a 61. I can kind of see that. But I don't really see that as well. I think the minus 9 that Jaden has is more reliable, so we'll go through those anyway. But before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see here, the break-evens for guys here, you can see a lot of them are very, very lower than I thought they would be, but all of these guys obviously played in round 0, so they do have the extra buy, but you can make 40, 50, 60k. You can almost get those huge jumps that you expect in round 3 or round 2, and you can get them now in round 1, which is just basically jumping a week ahead, and you're getting, I would say, potentially even 50 to 60k very, very quickly. 50 to 60k more price jumps before the guys that play in round 1, even though you do have McKercher and also Sanders that are good rookies, and Harley Reid as well, and probably Zach Reid as well. I think he looks like a good rookie. You're getting those guys who will play and have those price jumps later, but you're getting these guys to have it earlier in Roberts and Howe, especially, as well as Sexton, but he isn't really a rookie, but I guess he is a cash cow in a sense. So if we look at the actual, what I believe are the break-evens on Jaden's website here, you can see Matty Roberts, not Matty Rao. You can see him priced at now 31.6, but was priced 245k, and his new break-even is a score would need to not get a change in between now and post round 1 change. Okay, so it seems like if I'm reading this correctly, that the break even that they have on the AFL Fantasy website is something to do with the they look roughly about what I would expect to see. Let me see, is Sexton roughly around that mark? Where's Sexton? Minus 23. If I go here and go here, you'll see that Sexton, McMullen, they sort of make sense now. So basically what the break-even is telling me, and this is why it's so bull-dinky about it in my mind, is that Roberts has to score basically, what is that, minus 27 free kicks or something, or 27 free kicks against, to stay at 245k or whatever because of the price mechanic. So yeah, I don't think he's going to do that. That would be a record of stupidity, and I think Long Mai would pull him if he gave away 20 free kicks against anyway. So yeah, Roberts is basically guaranteed. It would have to be an absolute calamity. He would probably be suspended anyway if he did give away 27 free kicks in one way or another, because he would have to have done something so dumb to have probably giving away that many free kicks. So yeah, he's going to price rise. That's all. But I would say even with the with probability, you have to give a chance of something occurring. I think even with all that, you can give this 100% chance of Roberts increasing. So yeah, he is fine at so that -71. I don't think it's necessarily correct, but I think it's around the marker for the within 10 or so, plus or minus 10 of Matty Roberts, his 245k price. Guess that's just due to the weighting of things. House minus 58. I think that's roughly around the marker for his full break even of minus 65. You can sort of see it. But anyway, yeah, so he's probably priced at a minus 13 of a new price of a 241k. So he's probably destined for another 10k already. So he's already effectively a 250k player. Whereas the likes of Matty Roberts already is a 295k. But you can almost look at Matty Roberts as already probably a 305, 306, 307, somewhere around that range. And you're getting him for 245. So then you're getting that. Plus also he has effectively, if you say he's a 305k guy, you're saying he's got a 0 break even and he's 305k. So you're getting a guy like, basically you're getting Roberts for Reed's price, and he also, instead of having a 32, 33 break even, has a 0 break even. So he's making cash before Reed. So yeah, that is why Matty Roberts is such a need at the moment. And what is he? How many percentage owned is he? 29% owned. That'll go up. Yeah, I just got that call wrong with I thought that Lloyd was another 12 months, and it doesn't look like that's the case. So yeah, I just got that call with Roberts wrong. I hadn't looked at much. I had looked at a lot and been in chats with people, and yeah, I think a lot of Swans fans got that call wrong with Roberts. Howes, you can effectively look at him about a 250k player with a 0 break even from what I'm looking at here. So yeah, there's that. And then if you look at Matty Roberts here, you'll basically see if he gets a 75, he goes up to 360k. So that's effectively what I'm seeing here. Let me just make my brightness a little bit bigger. So if we said that Roberts was effectively a 305k guy, it pretty much lines up with him making a 75. He goes up to a 362. I think he's on for somewhere. I think he'll probably land at 370k, because I'm projecting probably an 80 score here, and I think he could easily go average 90 across the first 5 weeks. And it's just a question of does his projections have him still with a negative break even that you can hold, that he holds the role or whatnot, because he may be a trade after his bye, which sort of sucks, given that he may get dropped, but I don't know if he will. That's just my what's going to happen with Lloyd, McInerney, etc. or whatever, because that sort of role is up in the air with James Jordan potentially moving back to wing. I think they'll prefer James Jordan over a McInerney, but McInerney may be used on the bench just to cover the forward line, because it didn't look like Wicks was in favour or whatnot, or whether Wicks was out of favour because they wanted Robbie Fox in there for the Nick Dacos. There's still a lot of things that I think will get sorted around that West Coast round 4 with Robbie Fox and what happens there and Wicks, but we'll see with that. But yeah, Matty Roberts here, I think his job security in the short term is pretty high, and I think he will make it to 500 very, very quickly, if not by round 2. So yeah, he could easily be at 500, 600k by the time that the buys come for him. So yeah, he could almost be an upgrade to a premium, or him and Heaney get traded to a Flanders already off his buy and another rookie, and you stash like 400k, and then you use the 400k to get maybe a Nick Dacos the round after that or something like that. I think that is something that I'm looking at, but we'll wait and see on that one. Maybe you hold Roberts and you trade I don't know exactly, like who's on the buy with them. They've got Collingwood. I don't think any Collingwood rookies are there. So you may be just trading you may use that round to trade a dead guy, a dead rookie, like maybe a Seth Campbell is dead before his buy already, so you trade him out. because if you look at the projections for Seth Campbell, he does have a -4 break even, but if you look at the projections for Campbell, 25 gets him to a 252k. I'm projecting somewhere around that 40, which will get him to a 260. He'll probably a 40 would have still a -8, 9 break even, which would still mean that if he gets 40, 40, 40, then he can get up to 300k very quickly. We just don't want this bottom out score of a 25 because he is effectively already priced at a 231, so it'd only be a 21k price jump with a 25. So we just don't want that 25 score to happen, basically, is what we're saying here. We went through Houses, has the later buy, so I reckon he's a good cash cow as well still. He's probably, I would say, House, if he stays in the side, even with a 50, I think he's going to land more towards that 60 range or so. So a 60 would probably put him around that 295k, and getting a 200k guy for effectively 250. Getting a 250k guy effectively, what's he, 241k, so getting a 241k guy for 200k, who's effectively probably going to be 290 or so k come his first price rise. You're getting 90k out of him. You're starting to gain almost probably $1 million or so could be gained quite easily from all of these rookies come and all of the players come the end of round 1 in the first price rise. So yeah, I'm looking at Roberts and Howes and Campbell and thinking that they've got enough that their break even is so destroyed now, or so low, that they're going to get 2 or 3 big price rises, which will get them out of the muck that I had with Yulin last year. And I didn't read his role right. I thought he was more of a distributor when he's more of actually a lockdown at AFL level. So even though Seth Campbell is in a shocking, could be a graveyard shift role of that half forward, I think that the 2 goals and getting him a 60 has gotten him enough of a break-even jump early that it will really help. McMullen, a 4.8, I believe he was sub, so I'm not looking at that one, to be honest, and he's a 200k, similar to Seth Campbell, but Seth Campbell has gotten the break-even negative, whereas Toby McMullen, early buy, positive break-even still, was the sub, don't know when if he even comes into the side. Aaron Cadman, another guy I've looked at, and probably more so a guy that I would like to have a go at because of the he's going to be in the side. Don't see him really being red vested. Could happen, but I don't see it. And has the 2 positive matchups where he could go 75-75. And if we look at the 75 projections for him, that gets him to 288k, a 67. He probably, if he goes 75 against the Eagles, he probably gains, I would say that probably almost puts him in a negative break-even split, if not -10. And the 75, that's probably another 60k, I would suggest. So if you look at his break-even at the moment, it's -14. So yeah, a 75 is probably going to almost have the same impact in the Eagles matchup as it has for the 2 price rises that we're seeing out of Cadman here at 288k. So suspect if he goes 75-75, that he would be roughly 340k, and 340k for him, you can trade him at his buy and make some cash. Go down to potentially look at a 200k that's had a good week out of the round 1 guys or something like that, or a round 2 debut and etc. And then you can really structure up there. So that's why I'm looking at Cadman. Next guy, Charlie Dean, I don't like his job security with Howe coming back, so that's a no for me. Sexton, yep, has the role, went 80, could easily go more. Buderick sort of hampered him a little bit, so I think Sexton is a little bit more guaranteed, and I just think that he could, at his price range, 120k less than Buderick, I think that is the one to go for there. So 382, he's effectively already a 412 with a 15 break even. If he goes 75, which I have him easily doing, that gets him up to a 455 already. And I could easily see him scoring 100, getting to 474. So I reckon he ends up probably going 80, 85, somewhere around there, which gets him probably 460. 460k for a guy that you're getting at, 380? 382 for Sexton, that is a huge jump, and he starts to get that negative break even, which is absolutely huge. And I think you'll start to see that negative 23 almost correspond to his weekly new break even rather than the starting break even that we have here. Laurie, I don't think his job security is that strong. Wasn't he sub as well? Or no, he got subbed off, sorry. Jack Billings was sub. Josh Gibskus, I think this is more of a Supercoach play than a fantasy play, as he scored, 30, something like that. He just is a spoiler and an intercept marker, which carries more weight in Supercoach than fantasy, so that's why I'd be sticking away from him. Caleb Windsor, I actually didn't like this, but the thing is, he was playing on the, and I go to more sort of experienced coaches about this. It Windsor, he's going to get that big price rise before others. He's already 20.6. He probably had his low game. So I'm looking at this and thinking, Windsor, I think for 2 or 3 weeks, you can get a big price rise out of him. You can get him up to sort of that 400k range. And then you can almost, Hunter, I don't think, or was it Langdon? One of the two was playing and one of them wasn't. If they come back, which is sort of an iffy timeline of 1 to 2, 3 to 4, I don't know. I've sort of heard different reports or something, or I'm getting mixed up with other people's timelines with the Sean Darcy, etc. What's happening there? I don't know who to trust there. I think I'm more going to trust Rhino than Tom Morris. But we'll wait and hopefully get a confirmation before Thursday about that one. But Windsor, I don't know about his job security necessarily, but I think a 45 is his floor score, much similar to Ollie Holland. I didn't know whether I wanted to start him, but just looking at the projections you have down here from Jaden, you can see that I think that, where is he? Let me just search him up. He's probably there, but I just want to search him up. Windsor, you can see that a 25 still gets him to a 295k. He's effectively already priced at a 294k. So yeah, if he goes 50, which I sort of see him, he's already getting a 32k price rise, which is much better than what we have out of guys that are like around that range. For instance, let's just put him, even though Sanders isn't, does it not have the guys there? Okay. So it doesn't have those guys there, so I'm going to need, okay, so that only has round 0. Okay. But anyway, you would see, let's for instance take Sanders here, because Sanders is probably got in the system here. So if Sanders goes a 50, he only goes up 13k, whereas if the likes of a Windsor goes up and scores a 50, he goes up 32k. So just see the difference there. In that, so that's why I'm more so selecting a Windsor over other guys around that marker, although I still do have Lazaro, because I think he can go 75, 70, just given the role opportunity there. But I think that Windsor, I was a little bit too cold on him after that score, just looking at the projections here for him, and he could easily pop out an 80 and get that cash gen going. And the one thing I do like about him compared to other guys that are around that price and have that early buy is that he has that later buy. So if he pops a 75, he goes up 51k, he gets that negative break even, I would suspect, and that's why I think he is still a decent play. Do we have any other rookies to really look at? Yuland lockdown roll, no thank you. Roses, Harvey Thomas, I think is now effectively under 200k. Boyd, he did all right, but I don't really rate that. If I just go, can I go price and go here? Any other big scores? Not really. We went through all of the decent scores here. It looks like there's that. Can I go 50 instead? So I don't think there's anyone else that's really a cash generation tool. Rosas, I think he just kicked 3 goals, 2 against a bad Richmond side. I don't see that really repeating, so I don't think he's there. And King, sort of the same thing. Jubb McVee, an interesting one with the Bowie news and how that occurs. What's his necessary role, but I think he's one to sort of watch a little bit. But I don't know if he's going to necessarily get that huge bump, as I think it could be simply a Salem back to the back line and they bring in another midfielder. Something like that could occur. Or they just play, depending on the, if we go here, DFS, I just want to see the Melbourne midfield split, as it could be a simple bring more midfield time for the big dogs in Viney, Petrarca, and also Oliver, as you see here, they went 70, 79, 63, 58, 54, and Salem 38. So he was already starting to spend not that much in the middle. They could bring Spargo in or something like that. But yeah, that is pretty much the break even or the cash cows for season 2024. Episode 1, I guess, or the first one of it. This will probably run for 10 to 12 weeks until we get to the buys, I would suspect, as that usually is around the time that the cash cows start to really necessarily dry up, and we start to almost get just basically one per round at that point, 1 or 2 per round. So yeah, that's the video, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one, which will probably be round 1 predictions. Anyway, I'll see you guys in that one. Bye, guys.